Hi, I'm Tim,
I'm Lizzie.
and this is To Play,
Or not.
To Play, a show about board games for two players.
Whose tastes may differ.
Today we're taking a look at Thebes, the Tomb Raiders. This is a 2 to 4 player game by Peter Prince and published by Queen Games. We're obviously looking at it as a 2-player game though. Okay, so in this game you are explorers. You're trying to go on expeditions and dig up treasure. The way the game works basically is it's a set collection and card management game with a very strange and unusual, not scoreboard around the outside, but a time track.
It looks like a score.
It looks like a score,
but
yeah,
it's
it's not.
time.
It is time. So basically, each space, 1, 2, 3, 4, is a week in time. Around 52, so a year basically. So the way the game plays is you lay out some professors across the top of the board. You lay out a deck of cards, and you peel off the deck of cards and lay them onto the board, depending on what they are. Now, most of the time they'll just go across the middle of the array, and that's for you to buy from. But if they are different coloured backs, orange, blue, yellow or pink, they get put into the sections along the bottom. Now they are actual artifacts that are hidden in various dig locations. So they kind of just get populated by random as you pull them off the deck.
Each part's like a dig site, isn't it?
Yeah. So if it's a green back, it goes in the middle. If it's a different coloured back, it goes across the sites. So slowly the sites build up. Now, each player is given, in a 2-player game, 4 times 2 dig permissions. So they're given 2 orange dig permissions, 2 blue dig permissions, 2 yellow dig permissions, and 2 purple dig permissions. Yeah. So you get those permissions to dig those sites. So the idea is you draw a card into the middle, and then you have the option to buy it. Now most of the cards are going to be knowledge. They're little books, and as you accumulate the books, the more books you accumulate, the more knowledge you've got on that particular colour, i.e. dig site. And eventually you'll get enough knowledge points to be able to go on a dig. So, and the way that you buy these books is basically, again, time. So you spend time to acquire the knowledge.
The more books, the more weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, so there may be a book in the middle. It's 2, and that's 2 weeks to learn that book. So you move your counter 1, 2, you draw that card into your hand, and that's for you to use at a later date. Then that's replenished, and again you might think, oh, I'll buy that book. It might be 4 weeks for 2 books. So you move 1, 2, 3, 4, get that card with those books. So you acquire these different knowledges in different colours for the different sites. The time track is very clever. Basically you start from 0, both of you, and when you've moved for your action for that go, whoever's then at the back takes their actions for their go. Now if they're still in the back, so for instance, say I play a 4-week action, and then Bear has her go and she does a 2-week action, she's still at the back of the time track, so she would then play a game. She might take a 1-week action and she's still at the back, she'll play a game, so she has 3 goes to my 1
Then
go.
I win.
So my 4-week go tends to be a little bit more powerful in what you achieve. So you can play the kind of long game and get big rewards, or short games and get lots of small rewards. Lots of different ways of playing this time track. Very clever.
I like it. Very good.
So you move around, collect your items for knowledge, and there are various other different cards. They're all kind of different ways of earning points, basically, if you get multiples of a certain card.
What are they? Tell me.
I could not possibly go through them all.
Thief?
There is a thief. So basically you can then go to the website and just take website dig site. You can go to the dig. You could go to a website. They won't do any good. You could go to one of the dig sites and just take a card blindly. This is the thief card.
Yeah.
Again, you pay time to do that, so it might be 3 weeks.
I'm gonna check the box.
1, 2, 3. And then there's a Tomb Raider, one of the Tomb Raiders, and he actually looks in the dig site, so he doesn't take a blind draw. You can actually look at the cards and take the best artifact in there. Might be 6 or 7 points in there or something like that. You can take that. So each artifact is worth a victory point or more.
There's also that guy that's just checks.
There's a guy, it's like a knowledge,
Like a
local knowledge
sneaky
whisperer type thing. Yeah,
whisperer.
sort of, oh, have you heard there's some artifacts in so and so? So the idea with that is you pick up the cards in that dig site, look at it, and then you'll know there's a load of 1 point artifacts or a load of 6 point artifacts. Or, in fact, some of the artifacts cards are actually just rubble, so they're 0 points. So you
Just
might draw
dirt.
you might draw 4 and they're all rubbish. So so there's that to be
That's
considered.
quite a powerful card then.
To take a sneak, yeah. So there's different things like that, and they all cost time to buy them and then use them and so on. So the rules for all of that usage is a little bit confusing. We agreed,
Yeah,
didn't we?
again, when you read the rules out,
When you're first going through it, it's a little bit.
it's when you set all the piles out. There's lots of piles.
Lots of piles start,
and
building
like,
up.
What else is coming out?
Yeah. And of course, you've got your own cards in front of you, your permissions, and then
Yeah.
you're building up your books and so on, your knowledge.
Yeah, and you've got a kit bag as well.
You've got a kit bag that you can lay your artifacts in when you claim them. So anyway, eventually you've got enough knowledge and you'll go on a dig. So you pay one of your permission slips to go on a dig. You get a certain number of books. Let's say you've got 7 books. And then you look at this card, which is like a matrix. So it's got knowledge across the top, 1 to 12. And then it's got time to take down the left-hand side, and that's 1 to 12 as well. So let's say you've got, what did I say?
7 books.
Seven books. Let's say you've got 7 books. You have a look across the matrix, and 7 books goes down, and you might take 4 hours to get 4 cards, or you might take 4 weeks to get 4 cards. See, we said it was confusing. Or you might take 8 weeks to get 6 cards, or something like that. So you just take that decision. You look at the pile that's there to go through, and it might be just 6 or 7 cards. So you might think, well, I'm going to just go for 4 cards out of that because it's quite a good ratio.
Again, it's a dig is a blind pick. You don't
Yes, you
take
shuffle
which one you want.
shuffle the deck of that location, and then just take the top 4, 5, 6 whatever cards that you've,
So it's a risk.
agreed. Yeah, but it's a
risk
really
of,
good
time versus the amount of cards you want.
yeah, because of course the longer you go, then the other player has all those extra weeks to use up to catch you up, which is great. They might go 3 or 4 times. So yeah, so you have a look, and whatever you've got there that is an artifact, you save into your pile. The rubble goes back into the dig, so they kind of slowly build up lots more rubble than artifacts. But you know, it ebbs and flows really.
But then more come out of the
more
big
come out.
pile,
It's quite a big
so-
old deck of cards to go through. Yeah, the game itself says it takes 30 minutes, and we took probably an hour and a half. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does take a good old while to get through. It's good fun. It goes on for quite a while. And there are other things you can do in the game. Of course, you can.
Yeah, lots of choice to do.
There's a section where you can display the artifacts that you've got so far, and if you can display those, you do over a certain number of weeks, you get those victory points. You can take that card, and that's victory points, because again, that's part of the main point of the game is you're just trying to aim to get victory points, and artifacts are the main way of getting it. But then you can do these displays of your wares in a museum. You can collect 2 or 3 single point artifacts and sell those. The other cards that are available, it will say you can sell 2 cards of any colour, so from any location, and you'll get a certain amount of victory points. So you might sell 2 single point cards and get 8 victory points for those 2.
It'll cost you 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
But it will cost you time again. So everything costs you time that you do, and the game just goes backwards and forwards between the 2 players. You decide how long you want to be doing things for. It's entirely your choice. And
yeah, but you haven't got to do a certain thing.
no, you
I
can
did a lot of, when we
change.
played. I did a lot of digging.
Yeah.
And you're focusing,
Yeah, in fact,
you're
I
focusing more on
I realised
the thieves and things,
you've
aren't
got
you?
loads of artifacts, haven't you? And I realised I only had 1
And a
artifact. You had
big
about
stash.
sort of 10 or so. So yeah, and then I realised I should be going on some digs before you get all the good stuff. So I was doing a different tactic. But yeah, it's a really good game, and it just keeps going until the supply deck runs out. Basically, as soon as that last card is drawn, game over, and you count up all the points for your artifacts and your different collections of sets and things like that. There's different ways of scoring. Obviously, you just have to discover that for yourselves. That's it. The one with the most points is the winner. Okay, so what did you think of it? Yeah, I mean, so that's a very complicated explanation of it, because it is quite a complicated game to explain, but not a complicated game
Not
to play.
Once
really.
you've had a couple of goes,
Yeah.
you understand what you're doing. I liked it because you haven't got to do a certain thing every time. You were doing something completely different to what I was doing. I like the illustration. The illustrations are really good, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, really
Little
nice. The
artifacts
theming
are
is really good. So whereas a lot of this kind of card game are a little bit kind of abstract and the theme's just kind of over the top. It feels like you're on a dig. The way that you kind of go off on adventures from your own point of view to see if you're going to get anything in that dig.
Having a lot of components was a bit off-putting for me when you were setting it up.
Yeah.
There's so many different things to think about, pay attention to.
But it actually wasn't.
But once you understood that part means that part means that.
So you like the theme then?
Yes, I really liked the theme.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that sometimes you were doing a blind dig.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could see and pick one out. If you were the
this is depending on
Tomb
what
Raider,
card you're in. Yeah, the
Tomb
Tomb Raider looks, the thief doesn't
Whisperer
look.
looks doesn't take.
That's right, yeah.
So I like and it's kind of it's a surprise, isn't it, when you don't know what you're going to get.
It's a really nice. It's like opening a Christmas cracker, isn't it? Really. So sometimes it's going to be a rubbish toy.
Unless you open
and sometimes it's going to be a
and it's
pair
all
of nail
rubble
clippers.
and you think, oh.
Yeah.
But I think I got most.
I think
good,
you did.
Good digs.
Yeah, you did really well in
did
your
well
digs. Yeah.
So I like that component about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like it. Very good.
Yeah.
Good theme. I would say it's very pretty looking.
Yeah. It looks great on the
little
table.
artifacts.
Yes.
They are really nice and pretty and look like. I found the Queen. What's her name?
Queen Nefertiti. You did, yeah.
Head. So yeah, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. And I noticed Tutankhamun was in there as well. We didn't find it. I noticed when we'd finished the game, I had to look through to see what we'd missed, and Tutankhamun's mask was in there. In fact, he's on the cover. Yeah. So he is. So yeah, that's in it. So again, that's it's worth like 8 points or something like that. So the bigger the artifact, the more points it's worth.
But it wasn't too hard hitting.
No.
Or intense.
No.
Or strategy. I mean, there was a bit of strategy, maybe, but
yeah, I think there's a lot.
What dig you go for? What colour you go for?
And whether you take long.
Yeah.
Again, on the digs, if you can do a dig, say with 3 cards. So that's 3 books, which is 3 knowledge.
You won't get many cards.
So yeah, you won't get. But the longer you dig, with the lesser amount of books, but the longer dig, you will get more cards to take from the dig. So do you want to risk those lower number of books, but for a higher amount of time, because then you're giving a lot of goes.
More books, maybe.
Yeah, it's a real kind of gamble and push and shove.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. Whilst we're saying about the components and the theme and all that, just let you know, this is actually a card game version of a big. Well, it's not really a card game.
It does say the card game.
Yeah, but it's a bigger a card game version of a bigger game, which is just called Thebes, and that's also from Queen Games. We'll do a review on that at some point. But the bigger game is a bigger board, and it's kind of not quite as smooth. I don't think this works really well.
Well, as well as a 2-player game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but we'll do a review on it.
Someone that's not a big fan of like really intense strategy games, this is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, who's pointing first, to me or you?
Scores. You brought it to the table.
I brought it to the table. I think I really like this quite a lot. In fact, I think I'm going to give this one a good 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, really like it. Very good game. Very satisfying.
Very good.
Yeah. How about yourself?
I do like it a lot too. I'm not an 8, I don't think. I will come down to a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Really good. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Play it again. Happy to play again. Yeah. Really like
very much. Good. Excellent. Well, there we go. So 15 for Thebes, the Tomb Raiders.
Well, that's a good score.
That's our best score so far, I think. Yeah. So
wow.
There you go. This is one
that just proves that it's not a game that I love and you don't like. It's not a game that you love and I don't like. We both like it.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Very much.
So it's a good meet in the middle.
There was a lot of meat in the middle, to be fair. I had a sausage while we played. Anyway, so. So didn't. Anyway, so there we go. Thanks very much for watching this one. New thing for this video, we're putting a link to our board game collection, which is on Board Game Geek. If you want us to do a particular review of any game that we own, just jump on the Board Game Geek, have a look at the games and say, oh, I'd like you to do a review on X. Just put it in the comments for this video or any of our other videos, just to ask us. We'll get onto it ASAP.
You'll serve.
Yes, indeed. So thanks very much for watching this one. Hopefully this has given you the impetus to go buy this one.
Recommended. Yeah. Good fun.
Good fun. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again.